Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video we are going to be learning how to draft an underbust corset belt. So if you're yet to subscribe to my channel, please do wait to hit on the subscribe button. So without further ado, let's go right into the video. From the end of the paper, I'm going to come down to take all my vertical measurements. So I'm going to take my bust point, which is 10, and my underbust, which is 13, and then the length of my corset belt. So I'm going to rule that all the points across. So from the bust line, I'm going to go up by 2 inches and mark it, and then I'm going to rule that point across. So this line is my chest line. So I'll just go ahead and indicate on all the lines just so we don't get confused. That is my chest line, my bust line, my underbust, and also my waistline. So the next thing I'm going to do right here is to take my shoulder measurements. My shoulder divided by 2 is 7.5. I'm going to mark it right here. And then I'm going to mark that 7.5 up from here as well. I'm going to place my tape and measure it in order to get a straight line. I'm going to mark that 7.5 here as well, and then I'm going to connect the 2 points together with a straight line. So the next thing I'm going to do right here is to divide my nipple to nipple by 2. My nipple to nipple is 7 divided by 2 is 3.5. I'm going to mark the 3.5 on all the lines. And I'm going to connect the points together with all the points together with a straight line. Then from the chest line, I'm going to come down by 1 inch. I'm going to come down by 1 inch from the chest line. Then I'm going to mark half an inch on both sides on the waistline. I'm going to mark half an inch on both sides on the waistline. And then I'm going to connect that point all the way to the half inch on the waistline. So this is our dart. So the next thing I'm going to do right here is to measure whatever I have in between my bust and my underbust line. So I'm going to place my tape. I think I have about 3 inches. So I'm going to mark that 3 inches on both sides of the dart on the bust line. So I'm going to place my tape this way and mark the 3 inches, and then on the other side of the dart I'm going to mark the 3 inches like this. And then I'm going to take my French curve and connect that point all the way to the underbust line. Please pay attention to how I'm placing my curve so you don't mess your own up, okay? So I'm going to connect that point all the way to the under bust line this way, and I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Yeah, this is it's all ready. We don't actually need this upper part. Okay, we are going to cut this out, so we don't need it. So the next thing I'm going to do right here is to impute my body measurements now. I'm going to divide my bust by 4 and then mark it right here on the bust line. My bust divided by 4 is 8.5. I'm going to mark it right here on the bust line, and then I'm going to add 1.5 inch for sewing allowance. Then I'll come to the waistline, divide my waist by 4 and mark it here on the waistline. My waist divided by 4 is 6.5. I'm going to mark it here on the waistline. Then the 1 inch we took for our dart, I'm going to replace it, and then I'll add 1.5 inch for sewing allowance as well. Then I'll connect the points together. So this is all for our underbust corset belt. This is all for it. I'll just go ahead and cut it out so we can draft the back. Okay, so I'll just cut it out now so we can go right away to draft the back, because we're going to be using this front pattern to cut out the back. So this is it. Very simple, right? Like I said, we don't need this upper part. This is all we need for our underbust corset belt. Okay, this is all we need for it. So I'm going to on the paper, I'm going to mark 1.5 inch. I'll mark the 1.5 inch all the way down. So this is for our zipper allowance. And I'm going to connect the points together. So this is for our zipper allowance. Okay, and then I'm going to place the front pattern right on the back pattern so we can cut it out. Okay, I'm going to place it this way. Make sure when placing your own, make sure to hold it down with your pin so it doesn't shift. Okay, I'm going to use my pin to like hold it down. And I'm going to leave the 1 inch we took for our dart. I'm going to leave it in between the two papers like this, and I'm going to place this heavy object on it so it doesn't shift. And I'm going to trace everything out for the back. So this is all for the back. So I'm going to transfer the darts. I'm going to transfer the darts and then impute it on the back pattern. So this is all for the back pattern. Very simple. Alright, I'll just go ahead and cut it out. For the back pattern, if you don't want your back pattern to have zip, you can just leave the zipper allowance out. Okay, if you want to use hook for the back pattern, you can just leave the zipper allowance out. Then there's no need for you to include the 1.5 inch for the zipper allowance. Okay, so the back pattern is ready. This is the back pattern and this is the front. Very simple, right? So thank you for staying tuned. Please, if you have not subscribed to my channel, before you go, do where to subscribe and then share my video with family, friends and everybody. See you in my next video. Bye.